What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters, and welcome to Life to Metal. Going to be doing a rock metal update. That's right, time for rock metal updates. I'm going to make this in two parts because I haven't done one in a while. I've frankly, been busy. Yeah, I'm going to do this first part. It's going to be all like hard rock, classic rock, and then the next one's going to be mostly all metal stuff. So thrash and death metal and classic metal, that kind of thing. So I'm going to start right off with, I don't know, I've got a lot to show here, so I'll just start with one in the pile. So Humble Pie. So I've been in this Humble Pie kick for the last year, and I've been buying up all their stuff again. I had a lot of it back in this 80s. Sold it with my collection in, excuse me, 1990 when I sold my first collection. So I've been buying it back up again, but I ran across this copy at a record show for really cheap, and I snatched it up. I think it was $5 in great condition. It's a promo copy. It's got the little gold stamp on the back. Could care less if it's a is or isn't promo copy, but yeah, I wasn't real sure because this is an 80s release from Humble Pie, so I wasn't real sure. But as soon as I looked in the back and saw Steve Marriott and Jerry Shirley were still part of the band, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I just had never heard this particular Humble Pie album. I love all their early stuff. I got most of it. Some of it I have like even multiple copies of because I like them so much. So why I never checked this one out, couldn't tell you. I swear it looks like it's the Twin Towers in New York in the background, but I don't think it is. But regardless, what surprised me about this one is I popped it on my turntable and was listening to it, and suddenly I hear "Chip Away at the Stone," which of course is a song that Aerosmith recorded back in I think 1978. They didn't write the song. It was gosh, I'm gonna forget who wrote the song. It was the let's see if it's on here. It was the same guy who wrote Pink with Aerosmith, and he wrote I think gosh, he wrote several songs with Aerosmith. I think it's Richie Supa, but I just want to double check it. Let's see here. Chip Away at the Stone. Yeah, Richie Supa. And then I found out that Richie Supa wrote several songs on this album. So Aerosmith obviously recorded it first back in '78, and then they recorded it here. A very different version of it. Matter of fact, the song title is not even the same on the back, whereas Aerosmith's version is called Chip Away at the Stone. This one's just called Chip Away, and then in parentheses, The Stone. So regardless, it's the same song, same songwriter. I was pleasantly surprised to hear it, and it made me so interested that I ended up playing this several more times. And it's a good album. It's better than I expected it to be. It's just straightforward, hard rock, very obviously 70s bass. Steve Marriott's just a guitar legend, and of course Jerry Shirley went on to play with 80s new wave or British heavy metal, if they fit into that category. Fastway. So great album, really good. Highly recommend it. It's I'm sure you can find it cheap. If I found it for $5 at a record show, I'm sure you can find it cheap as well. This is one of my favorite bands. You guys see me show tons of 7 inches and 12 inches by this band, but picked up a few more things. This is a 12-inch EP from the Runaways. The Runaways featuring Joan Jett. Of course, this is long after Sherry Curry had left the band, but it's a 4-song EP, and it's all cover songs. But they do Mama, We're All Crazy Now, which is Slade, of course. 8 Days a Week, which is Beatles, I believe. Saturday Night Special, and My Buddy and Me. Well, actually, it's only 3 of the songs are covers because My Buddy and Me is actually an original track from the Runaways. But yeah, just a cool little EP, nice little write-up in the back, nice photo of the band. Just one I've never owned ever in my life. So again, much like the Humble Pie, I hadn't actually even heard this thing until I finally picked this thing up. But I have all the full-length albums. I was just missing some EPs and singles, and I've been just snagging them up as I find them for decent prices. This one wasn't real expensive. It was definitely under $20, but the cover of Mama, We're All Crazy Now is actually pretty darn good. I really like it. Of course, Quiet Riot had a kind of a hit with that song as well. And then also compilation of the Runaways. This one says with Sherry Curry. This one here says featuring Joan Jett. So you got to watch these corners. You can poke your eye out. I almost just did it. Anyhow, again, it's a lot of covers on here. It's a lot of like non-album tracks, but there's Strawberry Fields, which of course is a Beatles track. A few originals. Hollywood Cruisin', Come On is an original. Blackmail is a Joan Jett slash what's his name? Can't Kim Fowley composition. Trying to think what else is on here. Don't Abuse Me, Hollywood Dream, Here Comes the Sun. Here Comes the Sun, that's, I believe that's also a Beatles song, if I'm not mistaken. That was a George Harrison track. But anyway, yeah, this is it's a cool compilation. I actually saw Kevin Colehouse, or Old Metal Rocker 65, show this on his channel, and I'm like, oh, that's one I'm missing. So I went to eBay and I just looked around. I went to Discogs, and they were all priced about the same. They were all about 20, 25 bucks. And so I just looked around until I found a copy that was in near mint condition, which this one is. Sounds pristine, looks pristine. They gave this one an excellence for the vinyl, and then a VG Plus for the cover. But as you can see, it's really nice. But the only flaw that they're giving it a VG Plus for, I don't even know if you can see it, is just kind of a little bit of a, let's see if I can get the glare right. Maybe you can see there, the bend. That's it. I could care less. I just wanted the music, and I wanted a copy for myself. So, Flaming Schoolgirls, The Runaways with Sherry Curry, featuring previously unreleased songs, 5 live versions and 5 studio tracks. This is cool. If you saw, I showed this not too long ago on the Metal Roundtable, which is now live on my channel every Tuesday at 4 o'clock Mountain Time. But this is a Abbey Road's half-speed mastering version of one of my favorite Who albums, The Who by Numbers. I don't show a whole lot of stuff like by The Who and Zeppelin and some of those very popular classic rock bands, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, but I do have quite a bit of stuff from a lot of those bands, especially The Who and bands like that. But you can see it's got the half-speed mastering certificate in the back. It sounds great. It wasn't real expensive. I got it on as a new release off of Amazon, and it was just one of those things I had put on my list, and I was kind of hoping someone would pick it up for me for like Christmas or something like that. Because my family always say, you know, just tell us what records you want for Christmas, because that's what I like, records. And so I just put them in my wish list, and this one was one that was sitting in there. But it's been sitting in a long time, so I wanted to grab them before they were gone. But like I said, it wasn't real expensive. I believe it was under 20 bucks. And it sounds fantastic. But yeah, it's got However Much I Booze, Squeeze Box, Dreaming from the Waist, Imagine a Man, Success Story, They're All Love, Blue, Gray, and Red, How Many Friends, In a Hand or a Face. Of course, Squeeze Box being the big hit single from this classic album. But like I said, sounds great. And I actually only had it on CD. I hadn't had it on vinyl since my original collection back in the back when I sold it in 1990. Another band that I've been listening to a lot recently. I'm trying to pick up all their stuff, the stuff I'm missing, but this is Mott The Hoople's Wildlife. Nice, clean copy of this. I've been looking for a decent copy, and these are, for some reason, really expensive, and they're all tore up. I mean, all of them just seem to always have this heavy, heavy ring wear. It is a gatefold. Great picture of the band in the center. Back cover. Just has a standard sleeve in it, but on the Atlantic labels you can see, but a super, super clean pressing. I mean, this thing looks pristine. You can tell it's old, but it's just very well taken care of. The only flaw is, and I don't know if it was a promo copy or a cutout for, you know, like a discounted cutout, but it's got the little saw blade right there. You can kind of see it in the top corner. Again, don't care. Glad to have a super clean copy that plays well. And big fan of Mott The Hoople. Have been since I was a kid, really. It's, of course, Ian Anderson being one of the main known members of the band, but Ian Anderson standing there with the bushy hair in the middle. Like his solo stuff as well. Alright, this next band's kind of a new discovery for me, but I got a bunch of them all at one time. I got one first, and then, let's see, yeah. So I got this one first. This is Greenslade. Obviously, very 70s prog. The cover art looks like a Roger Dean cover because it is a Roger Dean cover. Even the logo looks like a Roger Dean. So obviously it almost looks like a Yes album. Doesn't sound like Yes. It's definitely prog rock. Very keyboard heavy, but really, really good. And I picked this up on a whim just from a guy who told me to check out the band Greenslade. And then I saw this cover and I'm like, hey, I got to get that. That's awesome. And yeah, very impressed. I really, really liked this album. Again, beautiful cover art. You can see it's a Roger Dean. It's a gatefold, so you can kind of see the full gatefold there, and you can see a picture of the band on the inside. But yeah, it's a good album. If you like, you know, the long songs, that very 70s prog stuff, like King Crimson, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, early Genesis, Yes, you know, that kind of thing. Nectar. You'll probably dig Greenslade Slade as well, and I was surprised how much I enjoyed this. Liked it so much I immediately went on the search for more. I was in, actually, my wife and I, for Valentine's Day, we went to Santa Fe, New Mexico. We just walked around the little downtown city area, the old town area, and there was a new record store in there. And while I was there, I picked up this one. It was not real expensive. It was in great condition. But yeah, this was called Time and Tide. Again, very cool cover art. Picture of the band on the back. Another gatefold. More fantastic prog. I don't remember what year this one came out. Like I said, I'm honestly new to this band, so tips from anybody else. I know he's got this, Greenslade is the last name of the keyboard player. Let's see here. I'm looking for his first name because I don't remember. Dave Greenslade. Yeah, he plays all the keyboards, organs, all that kind of stuff. Acoustic piano, electro piano. Dave Larson on synthesizers and vocals, Martin Brilley on bass, guitars, and backing vocals, and Andrew McCulloch on drums. But then you can see the inside too. I mean, I've been a prog fan pretty much since the 70s. I don't know how I missed this band because they're really, really good. I'm just surprised I've never heard it. It's like they were like on some, obscure labels or something like that. This is on Mercury Records, so. But yeah, really good stuff. So I'm gonna keep going because I have another one to show here. And I haven't really picked a favorite of these yet because I'm, like I said, really new to it. But this is Spyglass Guest. Obviously, Greenslade. Again, gatefold. Again, it's got the lengthy tracks. It's very piano / keyboard heavy. Got that nice crunchy bass sound that a lot of the 70s bands had. Really, this thing is like, I'm almost afraid to open it more because it's so freaking tight that, like, I can literally just do this and see how it sits. Well, the other one's just kind of open, so I don't want to crack it. But yeah, some great pictures of the band on the inside. But yeah, your average song length here is 5 minutes. There are a couple shorter songs. There's one at 2:47, a little instrumental. But there's also an 8-minute song on here, and just a standard Mercury sleeve. Again, Mercury Records. How did I miss this band? Don't know. 1974, this particular album is. So, yeah, really. I mean, this is what I love about the vinyl community. You just discover stuff that you somehow missed. You could be the biggest rock, metal, whatever fan in the world, and there's still things you're gonna, not know about. Especially, when we growing up in the 70s and 80s, we didn't have the internet and YouTube and that kind of things to check things out on. So it was all just word of mouth and compilations and the radio and that kind of thing, and magazines. So it's really cool to be able to discover stuff like this from people in the vinyl community. And then one more. This is actually a newer release, but this is live in Stockholm, March 10th, 1975, live album. Obviously, fantastic artwork. This is not a, I don't know who did the artwork on this one. It kind of looks a little Roger Dean-esque, but I don't think it is because it doesn't exactly look like his style. Obviously, it's his logo. This one is not a gatefold, but it is a, the other ones are just your standard 70s style black vinyl. It does have an inner sleeve with photos and stuff, but it also has a nice little splatter vinyl. I don't usually show colored vinyl, but this one's kind of matches, kind of nice, huh? Green with black splatter. Yeah, really well recorded show from Stockholm in '75. Again, like I said, worth picking up if you're into prog rock. You like, the long songs, the jams. I mean, that's what I loved about prog, was they were just jams and they just would go off. But there you go. You can kind of see the inner sleeve's got some pictures of the band, some flyers, some memorabilia, and then it's got this nice bio on the band on the other side, which I haven't read yet, but I'm looking forward to reading so I can learn more about them. But that's it. That's what I have from Greenslade right now. But all those I picked up in the last, 3 months or less. This one I picked up on Amazon, fairly cheap. The like I said, the other ones I got at record stores, and one of them I think I bought on eBay. So, all right, another band that this one I knew about. This one I actually owned stuff from back in the 80s. Really kind of forgot about them. I hadn't heard from them. Like I think I mentioned earlier in the video, I've sold my original vinyl collection back in 1990, and I kind of forgot about these guys. But I was out in Texas visiting Rob Caldwell, Metal Rob, who used to be in the Metal Roundtable. Now he does 128 DB Rock, so check him out there. but he's also a guy I work with daily with the record companies, and he has a record store as well. And I was going through his inventory that wasn't in stock yet, and some of this stuff was like in a pile of like dollar bin, or just stuff that he's had a lot of extras of, and he's like, if you want any other stuff, just take it. And this is one that was in there. So this is the Strawbs, and this is Bursting at the Seams. Again, prog rock, little different now than Greenslade. Greenslade are a little more, I don't know how they're just different. So I call Strawbs more of a prog light, whereas this is just pure and prog rock, very noodly, very jammy, and this is a little lighter than that. You kind of, I don't even know who to compare them to. I'm having a hard time thinking of a band I would say they sound kind of like, but like I said, I hadn't heard them for decades, so I picked this one up, and then I also picked up this one here, which is called Hero and the Heroine. Both of these I picked up from him, and he's like, yeah, Strawbs stuff shows up all the time. And I said, well, if you don't want them, I'll take them. I'd love to hear them again. It's been a long time since I heard these. Quite enjoyed them. Like I said, they are mellower, so I'd call them prog light, but I still really quite enjoyed both these albums. On this back cover photo of the band, they look like kind of angelic as they're ghosted in the background there. But yeah, I ended up picking those two up for, like I said, they were free from my buddy. They're both in great condition. They both sound good. The songs aren't that long. They range from like 3 to 5 minutes each. But there is a song on this one here called Tears in Pavon, and I think that track is one of the longer songs, one of the longer jams on here. Let's see here. I can't remember if it's. Let's see here. It's on the A&M label. So of course I opened up the wrong side. And that song is nearly 7 minutes long. So like I said, not a lot of long songs. Most of the songs are 3 to 5 minutes, as opposed to like Yes, the songs were always like 5 to 8 minutes or longer. so some of their songs are like close to 15 minutes. But anyhow, quite enjoyed it. The Strawbs. If you guys know the Strawbs, I know not all their stuff is prog. I know they went lighter and more poppier in later years, and I know some of their earliest stuff was kind of folky as well. I remember I had one of their early albums I didn't like as a kid in the 70s. It was kind of folky. I had it in my collection because I think I got it for like $1, and that was back in the late 70s. But I ended up picking up this one as well. Awesome album cover, but this is called Burning for You. Again, I'm not an expert on this band. I kind of forgot about them for decades, so I'm just getting into them again. Great live shot of the band on the back. So if you guys know the Strawbs, like the Strawbs, kind of give me some information about them, recommendations, what other albums you recommend, what is their best albums, their worst albums. I'd love to hear from you guys if you guys are fans of the Strawbs. Okay, what else we got? We got we got 2 more here, and then I will pause the video and go into my part 2, which is going to be all metal. And I think that video is going to be a little longer because I got a lot more metal to show than I do this classic rock stuff. But picked up a Creedence album. I do like Creedence a lot. These guys have been covered by everybody. They only put a handful of albums out, but every one of them is packed full of hits. This one's got a cover of I Put a Spell on You, which is fantastic. The Working Man, Susie Q, of course everybody knows Susie Q, that song is actually, it was a hit, but it was also a jam. It's like, I think it's like 8 or 9 minutes long. Nasty Nine in Hall, Get Down Woman, Porterville, and Gloomy, and Walk on the Water. So, horrible layout in the back. Yeah, it's really, really hard to read because it's like white type on that black and white background, and it's just, there's some parts of this, it's just almost unreadable. But regardless, it's a great classic album, and this copy is in mint condition, so it wasn't expensive. I actually picked this up from a store in Texas as well when I was out there, but gosh, I can't remember which one. We went to like 3 or 4 stores. It wasn't real expensive, so I grabbed it. This one here I picked up recently at a record show, and it was like under $5. I think it was $5, but they were having like a buy 3 get 1 free, so it ends up being $3.50 or something like that. But just one that I used to have that I hadn't had in a long time, hadn't heard. So like this album, like Rick Derringer. Of course, Rick Derringer played with the Edgar Winter Group, but he also did a lot of solo stuff. And this one had the big hit Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo on it. But yeah, he's a great guitar player and just a big bluesy hard rock guy. So I always thought Although this picture, he kind of looks like a dude, but some of his album covers, man, he looks very girly, and he's not even trying to. Very feminine looking, but yeah, good album. I mean, it's a classic. Most people know who Rick Derringer is, and All American Boy is one of his classic albums. So, and I think that is. Oh, I have one more. This is a band I'm very, very new to. Again, I'm finding all this kind of prog rock stuff. I've got tons of prog rock, but I kind of missed them. This is one I got for almost nothing. But someone told me on the Metal Roundtable we were talking prog rock, and they're like, dude, you need to check out Jade Warrior. All right, so I picked up this Waves album. It is a cutout. As you can see, it's got the corner cut off. But I got it real cheap. I just kind of wanted to check them out. It is, again, very proggy, but it's also very jazzy, as opposed to more... It's not jazz fusion, but it's got a lot of jazz influence. A lot more than say like a Yes or Greenslade or, you know, Nectar or bands like that. But I did very much like it. It's a very, very good album from this band. So Jade Warrior, Waves. Again, another band. I probably could use some more recommendations if you guys are fans of this band. This is literally the only album I have from them. So another new discovery for me. I just really been into a lot of 70s rock and prog recently. It's just, while as I'm sitting here, you know, working at my desk, that's just stuff I've been listening to. So that's it for this edition. Appreciate you watching. I definitely appreciate you all leaving me some comments. Like I said, leave some recommendations for some of these bands that I said I'm new to, and appreciate it. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. God bless. Stay strong.